Hi, Burris. It's me, the Angel Man, here today to give you guys another video. Welcome, Burris. I'm here doing another podcast. It's been a minute. This is going to be something different than what I've done before. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm someone that loves to do podcasts. I love having discussions about all sorts of things. That's why I do my Burst News. I like to get into the details of just certain subjects. And one of the subjects that I'm going to be talking about today, not just with myself, but with my good pal, Julius Palma. Julius, thank you so much for joining.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
No, of course. We're going to be talking about WWE wrestling. I've been a huge fan of WWE for a while. I laid off it for a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I have been off it for quite a minute, but I have been coming back to it, And the reason why I laid off is just because of some of the stuff going on with the wrestlers behind the scene, McMahon, the management, with WWE, and then the rise with Cody Rhodes of AEW, right? And we're going to go into it about that, all that later on as we're getting up there, right? But, for you, Julius, since you're on here, I want to obviously ask you some questions so we can get the warm-ups before talking about SummerSlam, because yesterday was the pay-per-view for SummerSlam. It was awesome.
Yeah, there
Dude,
was.
there were some matches, especially with Logan Paul, and especially the main event. Even some of the women diva matches, they're fire, dude.
Absolutely. No, 100%. Like, to give everyone a bit of background, all right? So this is the first ever SummerSlam without a McMahon.
Yeah.
Also, the Vince McMahon, without the head honcho overseeing creative and the whole show and everything. No. I believe it was like a little over a week ago that Vince McMahon announced his retirement from the WWE
Oh, yeah, on SmackDown, right? Yeah.
amidst allegations of a scandal in which he paid $12 million of hush money. All right.
Yeah, and I heard, at first I thought it was to one person. It turns out that he did it. I heard it was 3 to 4 people.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what, hence the $12 million figure.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, wow, like.
So yeah, and it's only a matter of time before the board of directors are gonna have to boot him out, right?
Yeah, and obviously his daughter took over, which is fine. She's great management.
Stephanie McMahon is now the co-CEO alongside Nick Khan, who is unrelated, by the way, to Tony Khan. And I
Right.
made that joke in on my wrestling server that the two biggest wrestling companies in the world right now are taken over by the Khans.
That's a good one. Right now, before we talk about SummerSlam, do you want to talk about SummerSlam first, or do you want to talk about WWE or wrestling?
Let's talk about WWE first. Like let's get the ball rolling first, basically.
All right, cool. Let's do that. So WWE, right? WWE has had rivalries. Sorry if I struggle with that. Over the years, right?
Yes.
I know the first one for sure was definitely WCW.
Yeah.
What did you think about them?
So the Monday Night Wars, especially, all right.
I missed that. I'm like,
That was just utter humiliation from WWE for like 83 weeks, right? Or however long it was, all right. WCW was on top of the world, all right.
And
And then
WWE had its moments overtopping them, for sure.
yeah, for sure. But it's not like WCW where you have star power upon star power upon star power that would just bring in ratings, more eyes glued to their product, and then it was a combination of like booking factors, backroom management, and it just wrestlers being unsatisfied with the product. It was a combination of all of that kind of led to this like slow death, right?
Yeah.
So that meant that WWE bought WCW for like $2.5 million around that ballpark. I'm not sure, which is actually more than that. Yeah, which is more.
But I mean, this was back in the '90s, right? Or like early 2000s, I believe.
Yeah, early 2000s, and then since Vince bought WCW, he brought in some of the stars from WCW, and then created this alliance versus WWE feud.
Okay, wait, hold on. We're skipping some things real quickly. So yes, absolutely, the Monday Night Wars, they were awesome, right?
Yeah,
They were airing at the
fantastic.
exact same time, trying to outrank each other in ratings.
Yeah.
And what was so great about that is that they were both trying super hard. And
They were.
the bad thing about that also was that a lot of wrestlers from WWE, even though they were really trying to help McMahon keep that show going, a lot of them slowly started leading to WCW.
Yeah, exactly.
And XD. I remember that awesome thing where XD went to one of their shows.
It's DX.
DX. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
D Generation X.
Excuse me. Yeah, D Generation X. My bad. Where they went to one of their shows, right? They were just like, "Where do you want to go for wrestling?" They were like, "X." What was it? DX. D. They were doing that, and They try to go in at one point, but then they close the doors. They're like, no, do not let them in. Like, they remind me of.
Dude, no. Their skit before going into the arena was hilarious. I was
Yeah.
just dying.
I haven't seen that skin in a minute, but I have to. Yeah, like I remember that moment, and I was like, "Where's stuff like that? You don't see that anymore, right?" Like,
Exactly. No. Part of the popularity with especially the ruthless aggression era, all right, in the WWE was like the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin, all right, The
yeah,
Rock, DX, and then you've got Undertaker, Kane, Big Show. No, Paul White came after he left it from WCW, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was just like those stars that were putting the company on their backs ultimately defeat WCW.
this is just me. I
Yeah.
think WWE lost that fight because all the wrestlers were going to WCW. All the rating was going towards WCW. And WCW was just ranking. At one point, McMahon's own son was even running WCW. Remember when they were
And
having
no, I believe that was like part of an angle because like at that point,
right?
WWF rather bought WCW, so like they wanted to do something like storyline with it.
But then McMahon bought it and shut down. And I'm
Yeah,
thinking to myself, "Ugh, that's such a easy way out." Like,
and back then they had like the stars: Scott Hall, Kevin
yeah,
Nash, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart. Hell, NWO encapsulated
yeah,
WCW.
yeah.
It was the show. It was the main attraction that people wanted to see.
And then after the years after WCW, there's been some other ones. There was Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, Impact. Yes, yeah,
What
Impact
you
is
think
still
about
there.
Impact?
Yeah, it came in real hot in the early 2000s.
On Spike TV, right? Wasn't it on Spike?
Yeah. Spike TV, and then like after their deal with Spike TV ended, it kind of like
It was
went
struggling.
it, like went through other channels. I'm not
Yeah.
even sure where they're on right now, but yeah, they're still going.
I thought Impact stopped.
No, they're still going.
What? Okay, that's new to me. Okay, I gotta do my research on that one.
They're still going. I believe no. Recently they just had
What
an
weren't they
event.
TNA wrestling? Wasn't it that?
Yeah. So okay. So in the beginning, yes, it was called TNA,
And then
Total
they changed
Nonstop
it to
Action,
Impact.
Total Nonstop Action, and then there was the new owners called GFW. All right,
Yeah.
it became GFW Impact Wrestling, and before the company then became just simply Impact Wrestling. Because the whole Impact thing came from one of their shows. It was
Yeah.
called TNA Impact. So, and that was that show that went against Monday Night Raw back in like 2009, 2010.
Then it
But,
wasn't.
but ultimately, more eyes were on WWE's product than
Of course.
Impact. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, they kind of lost that one.
And then now the newest one is AEW.
AEW, of course.
I
We gotta
like
talk about
it.
that.
Like I love it actually because for one of the things that I was hearing about that was that the wrestlers have more creative freedom.
They do,
And
absolutely.
because obviously before McMahon retired on SmackDown, it could have been on either one, but because the next one was SmackDown, he has to do it there. There was a lot of complaints with McMahon that he had just too much creative control. They would rehearse what they were going to do for the show, and right when they were getting ready to, there were times when McMahon would do changes few
Mid-show.
hours before, or even right before the show, like minutes. He would be like, "Oh no, I don't like that. We're changing that." And I was like, "Why?"
Yeah. So much so that like even the producers that are producing the matches, they would be told by McMahon, no, we're cutting the match. They have to like fill it. They have to like put in another segment or another match to fill in the time. It was really recently cut off. Usually pay-per-views would do this.
Yeah,
But like yeah, especially big pay-per-views, right?
absolutely. Yeah, I know another thing also that wrestlers were really getting frustrated with was the fact that McMahon he wasn't letting them do what they wanted to do. I know there was times when they had issues outside of WWE that they wanted to take care of. McMahon wouldn't allow them to. It was like the show was first, no matter what. I remember one of the divas. She was going through like depression. She wanted to quit, and she asked McMahon that she said, "I'm thinking about like kind of quitting. Like I kind of don't have the spark to do wrestling anymore."
Oh
And
yeah, I
McMahon,
remember that.
yeah, McMahon was just like, "No, take 30 days." She took 3 months. She took 3 months, but then she came back. And then because AEW was coming back, a lot of the wrestlers went over there.
Oh yeah, you've got big names: Jim Ross,
There you go. Jim
Mark
Ross.
Henry, Chris Jericho, Paul White, The Big Show,
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson right now,
Mhm.
Claudio Castagnoli, William Regal, John Moxley. Those are established names in the
And
in the WWE that made their way over to AEW.
and you know what I like? Because I'm someone that likes to watch behind the scenes of not just movies and stuff, but of anything. And I saw behind the scenes where wrestlers they would go up to Cody Rhodes because he was like the head at the time, right?
Yeah.
And they would tell him like, "Hey, like either we're dating or we got this idea going on. Like, is that okay?" And then he says, "Hey, we're working with the writers, so if you have a suggestion, let them know, and then we'll make it happen." And I'm like, I could see why a lot of them went to AEW.
Yeah.
I could see why, because there's so much more freedom. It's less restrictive. It's more fun. And the wrestling, I like some of the moves that they got going on. Some of the moves that they were doing there when they were first starting out wasn't really like WWE.
Yeah, AEW, like especially with Dynamite, right, when they first came out,
Yeah,
it was like a breath of fresh air from like the usual toxic, chemical waste that was Monday Night Raw, Friday Night
yeah.
SmackDown, all that kind of stuff. And it was just like refreshing to see, like, oh, there's a world beyond WWE, where these up and comers or established journeymen, which are like wrestlers that go in between promotions
Yeah.
at one time. So we get to see the likes of Eddie Kingston become this ruthless sadistic bastard. We get to see young flyers like Dante Martin. Oh my goodness, he's a fantastic wrestler.
I feel bad for Cody Rhodes when he made that bet that he wouldn't go for another title match if he lost.
I honestly thought that was like a terrible booking decision, but then
It was because
but
he
but but
lost.
but, but at the same time, I kind of see the point of it, because like think about this, that you are one of the executive vice presidents of the company, all right, and you're going to be world champion, and then like in the first year, that's kind of overkill if you think about it.
Yeah,
But
you're
then,
gonna burn yourself out. Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
so I guess it was only right then that the first ever AEW world champion had to be someone that was established, that would put the company on their back, and then plant the seeds for what would become ultimately, I wouldn't say the alternative, the rival to WWE.
obviously, when AEW started off, their audience was kind of here and there, and then I even found out CM Punk made a comeback on that show, and I was like, oh, he came back because I remember CM Punk. He went for UFC. He tried.
Yeah, no, no,
It
that was a good. That was
yeah,
a good. Yeah, yeah. No, no.
you're just like,
The less said about that, the better.
yeah, and then now he's making a comeback again in wrestling. I was like, okay, that's good because I like CM Punk, man. He was hella entertaining, and
Dude,
then
oh yeah, that first dance episode, literally the first 15-20 minutes of just CM Punk coming back. All right,
right.
I wish I was that guy that was crying. All right, because that was like a heartfelt moment. I was like, inside I was like marking
Like
out
shit.
and everything. And like
Yeah.
I wanted to cry because he's back. CM
And
Punk is back, the guy.
but then again, you know why he also left? It's because he was butting heads with McMahon. He
No, 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 not only with McMahon, but Triple H as well. All right, and like,
Triple H.
and especially with with the doctors that that prescribed him like these medications that would make him feel worse than what he really is.
I heard
And
about that. I don't know too much about that part, but I have heard about that. But another thing also was because CM Punk was on a podcast, and he told Vince McMahon, he said, I forgot the name of this wrestler, but he said, there's this
cool.
one person who I don't want to work with anymore. And he said, as long as you don't make me work with him, we're cool. And then they were like, okay, we promise you won't work with this wrestler again.
Right back.
And then recently they told him, hey, so you're going to be working with this wrestler again. So then he quit. He was like, I'm not doing that.
I know who he was talking about. I believe it was Ryback. He went on the record to say that he was one of the most dangerous wrestlers
Oh.
that he worked with, and I think that contributed to like him getting a concussion and everything. He looked pretty unsafe as a wrestler,
Right.
because the last thing that you want to do is intentionally injure someone.
I mean, I understand that it's wrestling. I get it. Sometimes shit's going to happen. And most importantly, you're trying to entertain the crowd. Because, when you're hearing an energetic crowd, I get it. You're kind of in that moment. But,
Right.
like, I think it definitely, like, helps that old criticism where people say, oh, wrestling's fake, this and that. And I'm just like, you sure? I mean, like, are you sure? Because I see blood. Like, I don't think that's really, I don't think that's fake. I don't see how you can fake blood on the spot. Because, like, when people get hurt, they're hurt on those rings. I've seen rehearsals of them doing moves and shit. Even with Logan Paul, I was just like, damn, he got it down, right?
Yeah,
But
but
before we-
yeah, and even went to for the record that should hurt.
No, absolutely, yeah. I actually did that a few times because I went to some of the independent wrestling events, and I would get there super early because my uncle's a part of that. Tony Fury, shout out to him. And I would see the rings, and sometimes I would try to sneak on the ring. I'd be like, "Oh, so this is how a ring feels like." I'd be all jumping, I'd be feeling the ropes. I try to do the Triple H, with the rope, doing that. I was
Yeah.
like, ah. And then another thing, also talking about WWE and AEW. Is the fact that for one, AEW was dominating WWE for a minute during their last
Especially
WrestleMania event.
last WrestleMania.
The pirate theme.
Yeah.
that they did. They knew that they were losing members of the wrestlers. They were losing ratings because at times AEW was really outranking them when it came down to ratings and anything. And then that's when McMahon had to go out to everybody with all the wrestlers by his side and be like, you know, we just want to let you know we appreciate you. We care about you. You know, you staying loyal to us and everything. Like he had to show appreciation to make sure that they wouldn't leave. And I was like, yeah, I bet you would, huh? I was like, yeah. Because at one point I heard he was thinking about selling WWE because the fact that AEW was hella beating him and everything. And I was like, I don't think he's gonna sell it. No way. That was his father's company. That's his. He has total control over it. And he didn't, but I was just thinking to myself, I don't see why you would suggest that. Like, you know, maybe it's just a rough patch right now, especially during COVID. Remember the screens?
Yeah.
All the screens everywhere? What did
Yeah.
you think about that anyway? Like, what?
I thought it was a good alternative to having actual fans in the crowd. Like it was way for for the wrestlers to still be like immersive. With that mindset, like oh, there's a crowd. Like I gotta put on a show for them. And then like by having the screens, like it worked, but it was like a band-aid. Think about it. When you saw like the reaction of all the wrestlers, seeing actual people in the crowd for the first time, WrestleMania 37 in Tampa, jaw dropping. Like holy shit, there are actual people. Like you really can't beat an actual crowd. Watching the product. That's just there is to it.
And then here's the biggest shocker for me, for moving forward, is the fact that Cody Rhodes went back on Raw.
Yeah, WWE. Yeah, no, that was shocking. His last match in AEW was against Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship in a ladder match. All right, and they were pulling out some crazy spots. All right, that massive senton from the top of the ladder onto Cody, who was himself on the ladder, and then the massive cutter where Sammy Guevara did like a massive cutter on Cody from the top, the crossroads as well the top, from the ladder. All right, and who would have thought that back then that would be Cody Rhodes' swan song match, his last match for the company, and before announcing on Instagram and Twitter that I'm leaving AEW. And it was only a matter of time that he would make his way back to WWE, which ultimately he did for WrestleMania. That got one of the biggest pops of the evening, his return. And he came with the American Nightmare gimmick. The very gimmick that he created to diss WWE, Triple H, Vince McMahon, all that kind of stuff, all right? How do you think he dresses? How do you think he acts, all right? He acts like Triple H. He dresses like Vince McMahon. He was at one point one of the EVPs of the company, all right?
Yeah, no, like when he came back on Raw too, like in my opinion, I was just like, why? Like no, like I see you more for AEW now because like you were the face of it, in my opinion.
Ultimately he wants to become champion, but he can't become a champion in his own company because of what he did back.
I know that's why I was like, why did you do that? I was like, oh, you should have avoided that, but all right, it's what it is.
So yeah, hold on, before we go to SummerSlam, all right, so there was the event called Hell in a Cell, right? He went up against Seth Rollins, and his bicep, it was just bursting red.
Yeah,
the silence of the crowd as he healed that wound, it was just like, it just went silent. You could literally hear a pin drop. And then one of the commentators said, gentlemen, 50% would be lucky. I was just like, oh, that was cool. And he went through the match too and won against Seth Rollins. That just goes to show how he and Seth are dedicated to bringing out the product for everyone despite his injury.
Oh no, absolutely.
The consummate professionals that they are.
Dude, I know. Let me ask you something. If somebody was to tell you wrestling was fake and this and that, what would you tell them?
I'd say, yeah, I know it's fake, but it's entertaining, isn't it? In the same way that you look at in the same way that you look at movies, yes, they're all fake, but it's entertaining, right? Mm-hmm. The only difference is that with wrestling, it's actual people putting their bodies on the line to give us a show, all right? With movies, there's a lot of edits that you have to go through, all right? Green screen, wire removal, special effects, everything, all right?
Oh, that's when wrestling is live, like
yeah, exactly, all right? And the commentators, they're there to sell you the idea about the match, right? They're there to provide an illusion to like help better sell the product,
Exactly. Yeah.
and eventually to help bring more eyes to the product.
And then when talking about all that, WWE what is making a comeback, huh?
They really are in the best way possible, and I genuinely hope that they keep doing that. Yeah.
No, yeah, because here's the thing, I love AEW, but WWE, it's been around forever and it has character too. You know what I mean? Like it has that feeling of like, oh, like this is my childhood, and they're still going on. It's different, but it's still going on. Just a few things before we get on to SummerSlam, which is the fact that Logan Paul, he just signed with WWE.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I was like, oh, that's a bold move. But then again, it is like the land of sports. It is what's called a sports entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Not professional wrestling. I don't know. I was like, if he's there on a part-time basis, all right, fine, fair enough. Yes, that's fine. All right. Like WrestleMania, SummerSlam appearances, that's all well and good, right? Who knows? Maybe in January we'll end up seeing him in the Royal Rumble, go eliminate a couple people, just like the way Bad Bunny did this year.
But the Paul brothers is interesting, right? Because Jake has boxing going on, and now
Yeah.
Logan has wrestling going on, and they both have a wrestling background. So
Yeah.
when I saw Logan sign that contract with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, I saw it and I was just like, really? I don't know how.
If it's like for part-time appearances, fair enough. That's all well and good. But then,
I think
like,
it
if
could be full time.
yeah, because like the way I see it is like if it's like for part-time appearances, that's fine. Like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, all right. But then he's also got other commitments. He's got Impulsive. He's got his podcast, right?
Yeah.
He's got Prime with KSI. He's got other brands
He
and
can promote that at any time. Like if he does it all the time, I don't know.
exactly. That's all well and good, all right. But then like he's got a lot of things.
Oh, he has a schedule, absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly that. Like if he were to focus on WWE full time, then he would need to drop some of those commitments, all right. And
But see, that's what I was thinking about too, because I agree with some of what you're saying. Because when I found out that Logan Paul signed on to be part of WWE, I was like, I don't know, like, is it full time? Because I was like, I know he has his podcast. He does, his 99 photo project that he's doing. He obviously he's gonna be there for some events involving Jake. He's busy. He's doing other shit. Besides Prime and all that. And WWE, that's commitment. Unless you're like doing special appearances, which he's did. Starting off, and then now he's all actually getting involved. What did you think of him in WrestleMania when he was hanging out with the Miz? Like, how did you think his performance was?
astonished actually. I was quite astonished at how he performed. All right, you saw. All right, he did. What did he do exactly? He did a frog splash. He did Three Amigos.
Mm-hmm.
He held up pretty well, and he was carried by Ray and the Miz and
Remember,
Dom.
did you see the split? Like, cause that's like his move. And then
Yeah.
like when they were gonna come at him, he did the split. And I was like, did he just do the split on the? I was like, okay. Like,
Yeah, no, he was able to do the split before.
no, I know he was, but I mean, like he brought that to WWE. You know what I mean? So
I
when he did
know.
that, I was like, oh, he did the split move. I was like, okay, like he brought that over, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
great.
yeah, no, but his performance at WrestleMania was fantastic. I mean,
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
if Bad Bunny took time out of his schedule to train for WrestleMania, and Logan did as well, then I guess the bar has been set for for future celebrities to come into WWE and do a one-off match. I just can't imagine the fact that one day I'll look back and see that Logan Paul will be in the WWE Hall of Fame in the
Dude,
celebrity section. I mean,
right.
that would still be crazy because that's the last thing that you'd expect. All right,
I was thinking
WWE
about
Hall of
that.
Fame, Logan Paul. It's just incompatible, and yet sooner or later it will happen.
Another thing, now putting Logan Paul on the side for a minute, because I just wanted to see your perspective where he is. Obviously, we both agree he's entertaining and he's been doing a good job so far.
Yes.
Full time or part time, really.
Yes.
But now WWE, before I go into SummerSlam, you notice that the design, just the way how it looks, it's gotten super high techy. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you notice how they're always using these holograms.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, do you think that's a good add-on? Do you think
I mean, it works. Like, it works to a degree, because, like, yeah, they're able
Yeah.
to utilize the artificial intelligence and whatever we have to further push the product, and not only that, like the characters that the wrestlers are portraying, basically, and like it adds like this added dimension to them that I don't know, we never see them, but sometimes they can be a little bit excessive, right?
Mhm.
For example, Randy Orton, whenever he makes his entrance, you see that big ass viper, right? My sister's deathly afraid of snakes. Or like say Sheamus, for example, all right? He's got the whole Irishman barman fight fighter type thing. This thing's a bit excessive compared to others, if anything.
Here's my thing. Just to confirm, like, so do you like it or not?
It's all right. It's alright, I guess. For me, it kind of like reinforces that in like the promotion of that character that they're portraying, right? And like it helps you sell that idea that this superstar is bigger than what they are, and they deserve that.
No, that's true. They've done it before with fireworks or technics or songs or screens or anything.
I prefer that actually. Good old pyro and everything, just to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. For me, I don't mind it, but I do feel like at times it's a little much. I'm kind of like, we get it. We know what you're like.
You know what I think? I'm sorry. You know what I think? It's just I think back then, like before fireworks were like were allowed. I guess that it was like the alternative. But then now we have fireworks. Now they have both at their disposal. So like, which one do you use?
Like just regardless, I don't know. It's just going back to the topic of the hologram stuff. I'm just like, it's fine. It's not awful. It's impressive. It's obviously super. I know that shit's expensive.
Right.
Those are holograms. But I don't know. To me, I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know. I feel like it's too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of like, we get it. Maybe you can argue, well, they're trying to be with the modern time. But I'm thinking to myself, where else do you see that?
But then again, where else do you exactly where else do you see that? I mean, like WWE's production budget is worlds away from AEW.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like I guess it only makes sense that they can utilize that technology because they have the budget to do it. AEW meanwhile they prefer like they prefer to shy away from like the flashiness or showiness, and they prefer to like let the wrestlers do their talking and tell their story.
Yeah.
So
no, but that's what I'm
why.
saying. I kind of do miss that, but no, that is a good point. Like you definitely, yeah, that was a good point. Yeah. Like where else would you see that? But that's what I'm saying. Like, where else would you also see that? That's why, I mean, if you like him, you like him. If not, I don't know. I just feel like at times it can't be too much. I know my mom hates him. She's just like, I don't, these holograms and stuff, it's fine, but it's just, it's all over the place. Like, what? I can't even see where the wrestlers at because there's all this stuff happening around them. And I'm like, yeah.
I agree. Like sometimes it does get a little too much, but
Yeah.
like there's some are more simpler than others. Like AJ Styles with his large phenomenal one logo. That's fine, all right. But then if it's like something like Roman Reigns, where there's like a million little pieces put into it, from Paul Heyman to the Usos to Roman Reigns himself, and then you have the giant hologram of him going beast mode.
Boy, doing that, I was like,
I mean, then again, it works for him because he's on God mode.
yeah, I know, right? Like he's just like, don't fuck with me. I'm like, yeah, he has that image.
I mean, it works for him.
No, absolutely.
But then there are like other wrestlers, like say for example like the Undertaker, all right, his last WrestleMania entrance. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example, like John Cena's, like against John Cena in WrestleMania, right? There were lasers during his entrance when he makes his way into the ring. And that was cool. That's the type of spectacle that I prefer, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When you think about entrances, man, like they try to get more creative with them, and that's the best. That's the main thing about them. Okay, before we go on finally to SummerSlam, is there anything you would like to bring that you want to talk about WWE or?
No, I came here for SummerSlam. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. All right, so SummerSlam. Like I said, SummerSlam was yesterday, as the day that I'm making this video. A lot of matches happened. There was like what, 7, 8 matches?
Yeah, there were 8 matches on the card. Yes,
8 matches, and we're gonna go talk about it in order. First of all, just the design of SummerSlam. Like it was crowded. It was almost sold out, almost, because you looked at the very top, there were some seats, and I was like,
you had the whole set design, like from a ring perspective. The first thing I said to my guys was, this has a WrestleMania-esque feel to it.
I was about to say that. I was like, you know what, for SummerSlam, like it's bigger than you would think it would have been. Like,
yeah, I mean, like all it was missing was like the Titantron and everything.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
Like that was the only thing that was lacking. But other than that, it was like. It's very close to WrestleMania from what you would
like
see.
Not even just that, like where the ring was centered, like the entrance. Did you see how long that entrance was just to get in? Like obviously the size of the crowd, all the hologram stuff that was going around it. The stadium alone too. But another thing also was that I was thinking of WrestleMania because I was like, where's the WrestleMania logo? And I was like, oh, it's SummerSlam, because you're so used to seeing WrestleMania, that big ass sign.
Yeah.
Like it's SummerSlam. It's SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but other than that, it was very impressive for SummerSlam. Hell yeah.
I was taking it back too. I'm like, damn, this actually looks pretty good. And it's not often that you would see a WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, I mean SummerSlam,
Mhm.
take place outdoors.
And
There's
exactly, I loved it.
there's only a few that have ever done it. The one in Vegas, no, not
Oh
Vegas.
no.
The only other one is Wembley in 1992, SummerSlam '92, Wembley in London.
Uh-huh.
The main event was Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog for the Intercontinental Championship.
So basically, there have been some other SummerSlams taken outdoors.
That was the only other SummerSlam that took place outdoors. As far as I know, all of them took place in like arenas, but not like in something as big as like a football field. And then NFL one too,
Right,
and then
right.
a stadium.
But okay, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like basically, SummerSlam was a major success. Major success.
I agree. Yeah.
Going into the matches now, the first one, which was the Raw Women's Title match. So what did you think between the two?
Okay. Okay. So
Blanca and Becky.
Bianca Becky killed it, honestly. And yeah, it was only two. There were only two women's matches, but that was the better of the two,
No, yeah,
bar none. All
I
right.
do agree with that. The second one was kind of
I was shocked at how short it was.
yeah, no, and then I did laugh at the way how she lost, but we'll get to that one later. I want to start with the first one with Blanca and Becky. This is what I was thinking about that match.
Right.
It was exciting, but for me, when watching that match, I wasn't too excited about it. It was entertaining, but I only wasn't excited because this is a match we've seen numerous times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of been done. That was the problem with what was going on in WWE. That's something I forgot to mention, which was the fact that
Like these feuds keep coming back. People are fucking sick of it.
and
I
not
know.
even that, like the feuds that you would hype up for the main event, they even did it during Raw numerous times. So you're like, why would I pay $60 to see them fight again where I can watch it for free on Raw?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know?
You're absolutely right. But then I believe this is like their blow off match. All right. It's like
No, absolutely. I love the end. Like when she was running to take her hand, I was like, oh no, she's gonna. Right, I was doing that, and then no, like they actually made truce, and I was like, okay. And then now they hinted about there maybe being a handicap match, like 2-on-3, probably, unless someone else comes in.
no. That's definitely possible right there. That's definitely possible. But yeah, but you do realize that this is like a year in the making. This whole feud, right?
Oh, of course.
Because Becky came back last year, SummerSlam. All right, manhandle slammer, 1, 2, 3, 26 seconds later, match was over. Becky was champion again. All right,
Yeah.
and they faced off again in WrestleMania, right?
Hmm.
And now this is like the culmination. 1 year, everything comes full circle. This is like revenge for not only beating me in 26 seconds, but this is also like proving to Becky that I am better. I am the better wrestler. I am the champion for a reason. That's why Bianca was champion. I mean, walked out of WrestleMania champion, and that's why Bianca walked out as champion for SummerSlam.
Here's the thing for me also, just that whole hype up was great. Obviously, the rivalry is entertaining for sure.
Yes.
Their matches were astounding.
Yes.
For sure. But I was just saying, like I think we were at the burn off point where it just started to feel like, again.
I do totally see that. Like it like that's like a dirty problem kind of thing where these feuds are just being reused all over and over again.
I
But
mean, at
that
one point they were booing Brock Lesnar when that happened. Remember, he was going against I forgot the other wrestler's name, but it was a fight that they were seeing over and over and over. And I saw the behind the scenes. Brock Lesnar, once he went in, he had his title belt. He threw it at McMahon. He threw it at him, and then McMahon got mad. He was like, "Hey, asshole," because he got
Goldberg.
booed.
It was against Goldberg.
I think so. Okay, then if it was Goldberg, then yeah, basically everybody was just saying boring, and then he kept trying to like hype up the match, Brock Lesnar, but it just wasn't happening. People are like, it's just the same fight. Like we've seen it in pay-per-views. We've
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
It drags on too much sometimes.
hopefully with under the new regime, under with, like post Vince, we can like finally say goodbye to like repetitive feuds and all that kind of stuff.
No,
Cause, like,
yeah,
because like if it takes like a full year to tell if it takes a full year to tell the story, it should have ended probably WrestleMania.
yeah.
If
I know.
anything.
I was agreeing with that. That's why when it was SummerSlam and I saw they were even having their feuds during Raw and SmackDown at times, I was just
Hmm.
like, It's still going on. I thought that was finally established. But
Right.
then luckily in SummerSlam after that fight again, I was like, okay. Well, I mean, at least this is the first one, you
Uh,
know.
I
But then
mean,
like the
yeah.
ending when they made truce, I was just like, okay, change it. Yeah, now they're working together. I love that. I was like, yeah. I don't know I assume I obviously like that.
It was great. I mean, it just established that yeah, this whole feud is over, is done and buried with. Bianca's a better woman. Bianca's a better wrestler. Bianca is a champion for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, Bianca's she's an inspiration to a lot of kids, you know what I mean? So
I mean, yeah, you know, that, no, definitely. That's what they. Well, yeah, and like, you know, her name, the EST, the best, and everything. She's proving her worth in the ring, and for a good reason too.
and what do you think about who the two are gonna go up against?
Okay, so we have to talk about this. So
Yeah.
Bailey comes back finally
I know, I saw that. I was like, is
after
that
a year on
Bailey?
the sidelines. I'm like, thank you. She's finally back, and she comes out with Io Shirai from
Yeah.
NXT and the returning Dakota Kai. Earlier this year, she was released. Dakota Kai. I was definitely sad about that. And then Io Shirai, she's not really doing anything on NXT, and her contract was about to
Well,
expire, right?
yeah.
So by having these two women on the main roster, it finally establishes that, you know, they belong on the main roster
Yeah.
beyond NXT because their talents proceed, and their talents, you know, obviously speak for themselves, obviously,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And by, you know, by having Bailey lead the faction, lead that stable, not only do they have like a wrestler that, you know, that has been, you know, through the ringer, NXT, all that kind of stuff, working in the main roster basically.
I'm just looking forward to seeing what was gonna happen on Raw tomorrow.
No, yeah, no, definitely. I'm excited. Okay, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah.
Next pay-per-view is September
September 3rd,
oh, today, 4th.
Castle Clash or something.
I'm excited. I love the theme for that one. I'm like, all right, and it's gonna be in
Oh,
London, I believe.
Clash at the Castle. There you go.
It's supposed to be in London, I believe, right?
No, Cardiff, Wales.
What? I thought didn't they say something about London?
No, it's gonna take place in Cardiff in Wales.
Oh,
So
what? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I just found out about it yesterday, obviously. So okay, my bad on that part. I gotta do my research on that one. But okay, so Logan Paul versus The Miz, that one.
okay, let me just say, by having Tommaso Ciampa wear green and black trunks. That is a disgrace, all right? Whatever happened to Tommaso Ciampa, the badass, the very same guy that was holding a crutch, wanting to kill Johnny Gargano with it?
Right.
Whatever happened to the badass that went to war alongside Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Kevin Owens against the Undisputed Era inside War Games?
Things change over time, Julius.
What happened to the Punisher like superstar? No, not superstar. Whatever happened to the Punisher type wrestler that had no mercy for their opponents? Whatever happened to him? Now he's just Mrs. Lackey, and that is just a disgrace, honestly.
Oh, Julius, you're so passionate.
I
He's
was,
like,
ta-
this is right.
I was talking about this with my mate too. I was like, and he was like, that has got to be rectified.
And not even that, did you see what the Miz was wearing on around his neck? He stole Logan Paul's thing where he comes in with that Pokemon card, and then the Miz had like
It's a physical NFT.
yeah of himself too. And I was like, did he just use all like, look, you see that? Oh, you see that? I got my own card. I was like, wow, Miz, okay. And then Logan Paul came in, made his appearance. They had the match. I liked it. Like it was definitely an improvement over WrestleMania, in my opinion. I mean, it was a tag match that him and Miz had,
Yeah.
but now having it be one-on-one. I really did like it. I liked how they kept trying to pretend like they were gonna smack each other at certain points. I
Mhm.
thought that was a huge middle finger when the Miz was like, "I'm gonna kick you," and then he's like, "I'm just kidding." Well,
No, I'm just kidding. And then he lightly kicks him. Like,
yeah, and then
yo.
Logan got back to him too, and then I was like, there you go. I was like, yeah, I'm like kick his ass. Even the Miz was stupid. He was like,
Shit.
kick. Stole my fucking move. And then the smacks on the chest. Midway in the fights. Logan Paul was smacking him so hard his elbow pad came off. I was like, did that shit just fly? I was like, did it fly off? He had one pad the whole rest of the match.
No, overall, Logan Paul held on pretty well against the Miz.
No, absolutely, yeah. I was really impressed.
Like you wouldn't expect to see him pull out the figure four leg lock onto the Miz. I mean, like, that shit was insane.
Yeah, I know it was absolutely. And not even that. I was really worried about the about who was on the ring side. I was really thinking they were gonna do something at Logan at certain points.
Hmm.
What's his name? That was on the ring side with the chair when the ref was telling him to get out.
Yeah, I was like, what was that for? And then all of a sudden, I hear AJ Styles music
Yeah,
play, and I was like, wait, why? And then he comes out, phenomenal forearm.
he was up with the crowd.
Get the f out of here.
Yeah, I was like,
And then even more surprising, Logan Paul pulls out a phenomenal forearm to the Miz. I'm like, where'd that come from? Yo.
yo, but that maneuver on the table when they went to the announcing table, and then the Miz was right there, and he did that jump. I was like, no way, he's not gonna. Is he really? And then you saw that. Bah! I was like, I recorded that shit. You saw my Instagram story.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
Yo, Logan Paul be wildin'. Like, that's some Shane McMahon type stuff right there.
I saw it on I saw it from a different angle. They posted it on Twitter like from a first person perspective. Whoever was in the
Like
front
ringside,
row,
right?
yeah, the ringside like they like whoever was in the front row, they got it from the other perspective. I was like, damn, that shit looked like it hurt. You see this? He went like he hella tightened himself.
Oh yeah. No, I saw what happened afterwards. It's like of course, like in wrestling, all right, you're always communicating like what's gonna happen next. After that splash onto the table, like you could see Mrs. face was buried like inside Logan Paul's like chest, right? And like he was
like,
asking, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? You good? And like they were like secretly talking.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
everything.
No, yeah, they've I've seen how they do the communicating part. You know, whether it's in a chokehold, whether they're about to get ready to throw them. You know, whether they have them hanging over their shoulders. Yeah, I've seen certain ways of how they communicate. I heard this rumor about that, like when it comes to boxing as well, but with the gloves.
Oh really?
Like you know how with your gloves you're gripping.
Yeah.
Like with gloves, it's kind of like a
Like open fisted, right?
like open fisted, like it's about to come. Get ready for it. Like that's a rumor that I heard.
Oh, I didn't know that with boxing. I mean, wrestling, yeah, that's kind of like given.
A no-brainer.
Like,
Yeah. You know, it's kind of here and there. But with
yeah,
boxing, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say that because I'm like, no, boxing is different. I want that. That's real.
yeah.
You know, but I don't know. It depends on your perspective of how you see it. But no, yeah. But just to match in general, what did you think about when Logan stole the Miz's move?
I was like,
That was funny.
I was like, what? I mean, like, first off, that's smart, because like,
He's fucking him because he's trying to get back for betraying him.
and not only that, like using your own move against yourself is like a pretty humiliating way to go out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about this, all right? At the end of the WrestleMania match, Miz Skull Crush, Miz does the move. Miz does that move onto Logan, right? The Skull Crushing finale, right?
Wasn't looking. Yep.
And like by having Logan use it, it's like, yeah, you're about to eat the pain you're about to eat the floor that I tasted back in WrestleMania, sort
Pretty
of.
much, yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of right. So at the same time, I mean, actually, no. Then again, I don't really see him having his own finisher until like probably his next match whenever that comes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm kind of curious to know who Logan's going to go up against now that the Miz is over with. Unless they keep it going. Do you think they'll keep it going?
Hell no. He's pretty much done with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next feud, I believe. Okay, so Tommaso Ciampa's got his own feud with AJ Styles. Miz, I'm not sure where he goes from there. I mean, the only reason why he's back, sort of, is to promote his own TV show.
Right? Yeah, Miz and Mrs. Right?
Yeah, Miz and Mrs. Like it's pretty good, the show, I guess. But then if he's gonna have a feud, who's he gonna feud with next? AJ Styles.
Right.
Actually, then again, it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
So then the United States title match.
Bobby Lashley defeated Austin Theory. Now
That was a no-brainer. I
That was a no-brainer. All right, so background to this match: Austin Theory was the United States champion coming into Money in the Bank pay-per-view. He lost that to Bobby Lashley, and then Daddy comes in and says, "Put Theory in the match now, God damn it!"
Yeah, I saw that you texted me that. You're like, oh look, it's Daddy's son. I was like, freaking jealous. You had to see that in there.
Yeah. So and then proceeds to win the Money in the Bank ladder match, was stupid, but then kind of given because it is Vince's next pet project, and now that Vince is gone, you heard that this Daddy's not here anymore.
You already know.
I was like, yo,
yeah,
killed it.
You were just like, sorry, you're on your own, and clearly you're not doing a good job.
So yeah, that match there was a no-brainer. But I'm surprised that it took Bobby Lashley 4 minutes and 45 seconds to defeat Austin Theory. Then again, Theory, is a pretty damn good wrestler in his own right. Okay,
But I
but
mean, again, Bobby,
but in the major grand scheme of things, it kind of makes sense for Bobby Lashley to retain the United States Championship.
the no disqualification match between the Mysterios and Judgment Day.
First things first, I really do believe that the Judgment Day should have had that win right there. It's a good way to establish them as a credible threat, and as a new and as a very a serious faction. All right, that's just a fact, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that all right, the match was solid, but I felt like, were there any notable spots there? I didn't really see all that much, to be
I
honest.
didn't. No, not really. To me, I kind of was kind of here and there with the match. To be honest with you, I liked some of the stuff that they were doing with Judgment Day. But here's the
Hmm.
thing for me: when it comes to the Mysterios, I wasn't feeling it. Uh, Rey Mysterio was killing it. He was going back and forth. He was flipping and everything. His kid, however, I was kind of
He's still green, I know.
yeah. You can tell he's still a little rough for sure. Because compared to Mysterio, maybe you can say it's because of his size, but
I know. I understand that. And what I was really hoping is that Dominic would turn on his father and join Judgment Day.
oh, I was hearing a
That
rumor about that. I was like, I don't think he would, but it would be a shocker. No one will see it coming when you think
that
about it.
that would be dope though, if that happened.
And then he
Like,
goes against his son.
and then I don't know. Like, if he did, then like what the next promo would be, Eddie was my dad or something.
Oh, oh, you remember that match? Yeah, where
Yeah,
we discussed it?
I remember that feud, yo. And then like Dominic explaining like, oh no, oh no, that's just for show. When everyone else in this classroom was like, is Eddie your dad?
Yeah, that was, don't
Yo.
worry about it. You'll see the match next on Monday night.
But yeah, I know the biggest shocker was the return of Edge though, which I felt was kind of unnecessary, but like, okay, I
Yeah, it's just
guess.
kind of random, but I also, what did you think of his name?
I prefer his old one, honestly.
Thank you, yeah, because it was just a lot of fire and red, and he cut his hair.
But then again, if you want to be a great wrestler, then the whole point is then you gotta like evolve yourself. That's what Chris Jericho has done over the years, right?
No,
But
yeah, he was a little annoying to me at first, but no, yeah, he's definitely gotten
but
better at getting
but
involved.
that so for Edge to like not only to have a brand new theme music, but to have like to cut his hair to evolve with the times, it works. I just don't like it. I mean, like, personally, I don't like it. But then again, the whole thing with Edge and like his old theme music is like for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah, I don't like this new version of him. I don't like it. It's just not for me.
And like him, creating Judgment Day in the first place was kind of like random. I'll be honest.
No, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like there's no need to,
Julius is like, I have problems, man.
I mean, like, except to like create a new star in Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Yeah, that's fine. That's all well and good, right? But I don't know. It's just like, it's not
You
right, I
just weren't
guess.
feeling it.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally get it. Yeah, I know. I kind of hope that maybe Edge will go back to his previous look, but I don't. Just what he had going on, because I'm a conspiracy theorist. I got a little concerned about the background, because I saw people like going down in hell or something. And I was like, what am I watching? And then it wasn't until he came out, and I was like, who is that? And then me and my mom were talking about it. We were like, I said, Mom, I think that's Edge. My mom was like, no, that's not Edge. I was like, that's Edge. I think that's Edge. And it wasn't until you hear Cole, and with the spear, it's fucking Edge. I'm telling you, that was Edge. I couldn't tell at first.
You know what? You know what? I swear he looked like he looks like how his wife dresses. No, no. I mean, I kind of see it, but then like, tell me you kind of see it.
Kind of. I don't know.
Let's just see what happens on SmackDown or on Raw rather.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's tomorrow. The Pat McAfee versus his friend, the NFL players.
Yeah, yeah. So these two are former football players.
They were
Play for
roommates and this
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
that.
played for the Indianapolis Colts, right? Yeah,
They
of
were.
course, Pat McAfee having a better career than him, being a puncher and all.
What did you think of the match? I wasn't really into it.
Okay. for what it was worth, it was
It
all
was
right.
fine.
But
They were doing moves that I was like, wow, I didn't see that coming. But I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. Maybe
to
that's just
me, there were like a few shaky spots that, like, him jumping onto the top rope. Like normally he would do that clean,
mhm.
like he would clear the top rope easily. But then in this match, like there were like like a couple times where like he would wobble.
Right.
Like, well, I was like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was trying to do it for dramatics. This is just me. I wasn't feeling that match. I was just thinking to myself, why are we wasting time with these two? I don't know. I think if they had some star power right next to them too, like if they had any of the wrestlers kind of like helping them out, like in a tag match or something, I think it could have been more hyped up. But just them on their own, the effort they were putting in was fine.
Yeah, you know,
Obviously the practice that they were doing, obviously it showed. But just the match in general, for me, I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know how you felt about this. Like, was it entertaining to you or no?
okay, it was all right at best. All right. I mean, like I
Yeah,
didn't
see,
I particularly did. I mean, like I thought it was like it's okay, but then it's just like another reason for for us to to see Pat McAfee's like athletic ability as a wrestler, because like let's be real here, he defeated a trained wrestler, and he's done that before too. He's went up against the likes of Adam Cole, Undisputed Era back in NXT, and then WrestleMania. Who do you go? WrestleMania against Theory. But yeah, the match was so for me.
yeah, exactly. I guess it was just one of those matches where it's like, if you want to go get something to eat,
It's,
go,
it's, it's like a quick bathroom trip kind of match.
you want to go to the bathroom or something, you're not really gonna miss
It-
it.
It's, it's like it's like after 5 seconds, like all right, just get up, go to the bathroom, grab yourself a hot dog and beer, and come back, and you'll realize, oh shit, the match
Yeah,
is over.
you're kind of
The,
like, I don't care.
and like when you ask your friends like, hey, what I missed, they'll just say nothing much really, to be honest. But Pat did beat Happy Corbin, so I was like, okay, cool, I guess.
So the next one, I forgot which one came next. I think it was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Title match.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's the Usos versus the Street Profits. Now these guys have a long-standing feud between one another, okay, and for good reason, because
Uh,
they're only one of the few tag teams that can step up to the bar. Gable and Otis, where are they? They're pretty much lost in the tag team space. Riddle and Orton, they're not together right now because Orton is on a leave of absence, I believe. What other tag teams are there? Oh my goodness, that's the difficult bit.
but besides the tag teams, real quickly, just on the match, what was your thoughts on it? I
It
thought,
was it was fantastic. These two were giving everything that they had.
what did you think about the win?
The win, oh man, they were so close to the Street Profits were very close to winning. And
I wanted them to win so bad. I was like, damn it.
yeah, look, I would wanted to see them win too, and like that final that big ass frog splash from Montez Ford, right? Normally when he does it, it's like so high. It's got height to it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This one he kind of like let off the gas a little bit,
Uh,
and then like he was selling this like this like the injury, like the effects of that splash, right? And like he was literally seconds away from getting that win, and you can see the shock in his face too. And I was like, and he's arguing with the ref, is like, oh dude, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't turn on your teammate now, man, come on.
yeah. He was gonna the whole entire time. He was just ranting. I was like, just pin him. It's right there. Just pin him. But he was going on a rant, and I was just kind of like, I was like, okay, I felt like you missed your chance. So that's kind of on you.
Like post match, the reaction in his face, the silence, it was loud.
SmackDown Women's Title match.
Oh, that was disappointingly short.
Yeah, no, it was so quick. I was like, well,
Yeah,
huh.
but the one that's got people talking about is the ending. Like, so
The way how she lost because she was so concerned on trying to focus on twisting her hand, she she
she
went flat.
yeah
On
yeah
the,
yeah yeah yeah, yeah, she went flat, 1 2 3, but before the third count, Liv Morgan tapped out. The ref didn't see that. He was only focused on the pin.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, everybody was talking about that, and then she
And
got
everyone
all
was talking
mad,
about that.
right?
That was what happened post match, and even Ronda was disputing it too. And then that's when she went batshit crazy on not only
You
Liv
took it
Morgan
on
but
the
the ref.
left, you idiot. She was like, she was tapping out,
Right.
and when you hear her screams, they were pretty solid to me. Like, I was just like, yeah, she's trying. But like in the very end, when I started tapping, I was like, oh no! But the ref. There's been a lot of issues going on with these refs, Julius.
Yeah, I know. They acted as like the dummies for other wrestlers to get hurt.
And then, obviously, Rousey, she got upset. She went on a rant. Everybody
Yeah,
was
yeah.
trying to calm her down. Poor ref got flipped over. Damn, that was one of the best parts. And then, the ring, like you said, the match was so short. I was just like, for a match like this, I expected a little more.
You know what? You know what it was though. I've been reading reports that it's because of like the pre-match promos and the video packages,
Ah,
especially early on with Logan Paul and The Miz. That took so long that because of the time constraints, they had to cut down the Liv Morgan Ronda Rousey match. That's
they
what I've
went,
heard.
they went half an hour over than their schedule because I think it was supposed to end at 8. They ended like 8:30.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
But I mean, it was fine. I didn't mind the extra time. I mean, it's more entertainment. But I was just saying, like, no, yeah, some of the matches did drag on. I think the one that dragged on was the between the two football players, those guys. That match really seemed unnecessary to me. I did not care.
Okay.
Oh, that was just me. Maybe you didn't like it, and that's cool. I mean, I get it. There's special guests and
I,
stuff. But for me, I just wasn't
I
feeling it.
mean, I think I agree with you. I mean, like, if they cut the match for like 2-3 minutes, if they cut 2-3 minutes from the match, that would.
They were acting like they were professional wrestlers, and I was like, no, you got some moves, but I didn't think that match. I think that match dragged on the pay-per-view a little bit because I was getting bored a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching. I was like, okay, they're doing flips and they're going out the ring and doing some things. That's cool. But
Then again, he's like not a wrestler, but like a commentator that happens to be wrestling. So like that's why the extended time. If you compare the times, like Logan Paul and McAfee, they both had matches over 10 minutes.
regardless, it was engaging. It was really entertaining,
Yeah,
especially because of who was in it. But these guys, to me, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're great at what they do, but for me, I just wasn't feeling it. That's
it, it,
all.
it, it was it was it's a complete miss for you, basically.
Yeah, I was just like next match, please.
Okay,
I was trying to get.
fair enough.
Um,
Fair enough. Yeah,
I was trying to get to Brock Lesnar. I was like, let's get to the final fucking match because that was the shit. So let's talk about it now.
yeah. Let's go. Yeah, let's go
So
there.
the undisputed WWE title match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, man.
And would you believe that this is Brock Lesnar's first ever Last Man Standing match?
Really?
Dead ass. That's why for Michael Cole.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. But hey, if it was, he made one hell of an entrance with that tractor,
Yeah,
dude.
I was like, oh shit, what's he gonna do with the tractor? And then when he leapt from the tractor onto Roman Reigns like
Right when it started,
like fucking King Kong, I
it was
was
like,
just like,
right,
yo, they're about to
it's
go
your country
down.
boy, and he just goes in there. I was like, "Ooh." For a second, I thought when he was taking the tractor in, I thought he was just gonna like ram the ring right away. But no, like the way how he had it up there, I was like, okay. But I love it how he threw Roman into the tractor onto the thing, and then he lifted him up just to drop him, and I was like, yes. It would have been cool if he had a chain.
No. The way that he dropped him though was kind of dubious because like it felt because the landing was soft. It
No,
wasn't. It wasn't like a corpse where like it was a hard
yeah.
fall.
But it's not even that. Like I think I wish it was a little higher. And then second, he landed on his foot. You know,
Yes.
I saw that. I was like, a little higher. I was like, just go, because like he already had it like this instead of like that to drop him. So I
Yeah.
was kind of like, okay, it's what it was. But it was still cool to see. I already
Yeah.
knew he was gonna do something with that tractor. And then the tables, they took out the tables. Poor Brock, they went outside of the ring. Clearly, they were fighting right by that huge
LED soundboard
yeah, right, like right there.
on the barrier.
No, thank you. Yeah, they're on the barrier. What did you think about that part? Right with the fans.
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, the table spots. I mean, like, okay, they're just table spots. There's this belief that I've always had: he who has set the table shall go through it. That's the trope there. All right, you saw it with Brock Lesnar. He's the one that set up the table, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's the one that went through it.
yeah. Because Roman, he got back up, like right, he picked him up, and then I was like, oh no, he went to the table again. I was like,
Yeah, that's kind of like a wrestling cliche,
it
basically.
is, it is, but I mean, it still works. I mean, maybe it depends on how you do it
Yeah.
nowadays. Because I know they are trying to change it up, which is great.
Right, right.
But regardless, it was still like investing for sure. Now, anything during the match before we get to the main part of what made it so exciting?
It's a basic back and forth between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Hell, I think for like like majority of the match, like Brock Lesnar was just toying with him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was thinking. Yeah, he was just like, "Don't get up." He was like, "Don't get up," and he kept getting up. He was like, "Okay," I saw it.
and then I thought that F5 was was gonna do it for him
Yeah.
until Roman Reigns got back up again, and then the big thing.
Mhm. Okay, so now let's talk about that. We've seen things happen to the ring, right? People are like, we've seen Royal Rumbles, we've seen Hell in the Cells over it, we've seen wrestlers throw other wrestlers to the point where it broke the ring, like that's happened
Yeah,
twice.
definitely. And Brock Lesnar was definitely a casualty in one of those back in
No, yeah, it
2003.
was Brock Lesnar in the first one, and then the second one was the Big Show and Mark Henry, right?
Yes, and both
Yeah,
times it was both the Big Show taking the damn thing.
right, yeah, and I was just like, yeah.
Actually, no, there's a third. No, there's a third. Braun Strowman versus the Big Show, Monday Night Raw, broke the ring,
Oh, I forgot about that
and
one.
and and the way that is that they took out the LED, for, like that would go on like the cover of the ring, right? They
Mm-mm.
would take out the LED so that way that wouldn't get damaged. So that when they would break the ring, it would just collapse like it would normally.
But then this could, I guess, be considered not necessarily the fourth, but like it's something that happens with the ring, which is that he gets him back in the tractor. He lived that motherfucker out with Roman still in the corner. Did you see Roman fall off? Like he lifted that up. I was like, is he gonna flip the ring or some shit? And then like Roman fell backwards, rolled. I was like, yo,
Yeah, that was wild. I
that
was
was
like, what the
epic.
fuck happened there?
Even the people that were in the front row were like, what the fuck? Yeah, you were just like, is that ring flying? I thought he was gonna put it back down for a second. No, he left it up there. I was like, no, yeah. I was like, it looked.
Imagine paying thousands of dollars to sit ringside, and then at the main event you get to see what the underside of the ring looks like. It's like,
That's what I was
oh,
thinking. I was like, it's the floor. You actually see under the floor of the ring. I was like, wow, okay, like, okay. That shit was awesome. With an epic moment like that, I was really hoping for Brock to win. Who did you want to win, Brock or Roman?
yeah, I was hoping that Brock would win as well, but then like at the same time, Roman is on another level, and considering that Drew McIntyre is now the number one contender for the championship,
Hmm.
that the two are gonna face off against one another. So this is like just kind of a given. So but yeah, Brock Lesnar, I wanted him to win just to finally end the feud there. But then I'm glad that Roman won and
But
settle
Roman
that.
won by cheating, in my opinion. He was putting, sorry, he was putting everything on top of him: tables, broken pieces, chairs.
And at one point we were about to witness a cash in too.
Yeah, he came in with the cash, and I was like, I swear to God, if he does what I think he is. And Roman was like, get the fuck out of here. I love that he was like, take your shit somewhere else.
Yeah,
My win.
No, took out Austin Theory and then used the briefcase to like whack Brock Lesnar. That still wouldn't put him down.
And then he took the belt a few times and was trying to like fight Lesnar.
One belt shot to the head, still got up. Another belt shot to the head, buried him. Finished. This feud is done. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I hella wanted Brock to win, especially after like him lifting up the ring. Like that was just like he was like, no, I want this match, damn it. And then like
I mean, okay. Do you think this was approved by Triple H? Think about it. He's the head of creative now.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, because Triple H is all about stuff, doing stuff like that for sure. So now for Brock Lesnar to do something like that with Roman, because
Yeah.
Roman is just like Roman's up there, man. Right? I can see that absolutely. Do you?
No, definitely. Triple H is all about raising the bar. Then goddamn, he did it. Well, I heard that TV 14 is coming back to Monday Night Raw.
TV
So
14? Yeah, oh, so that rating. Let's talk about that. When I found out about the TV 14, I was like, keep it. I like it. What like don't you think it helps out the show?
no, you know what? I agree. I do agree with that. And then and like last night we got glimpses of it. Like we got wrestlers saying bitch, goddamn, ass, all that kind of stuff now. And then hell, there was that one bit where Kid Rock made an appearance, all right, and he was tongue fucking his girlfriend Tammy. I was like, yo, before that cut to black, I was just like, yo, I'm glad they caught that.
That
I'm
but that
glad.
was but here's the thing though. I like it because don't get me wrong. I know WWE when it comes to promoting their brand and stuff like that, they're all about being kid friendly, which
Yeah.
is cool. But now that AEW is here, and this stuff is just
they've got to adapt with the times, or like they got to find a
exactly.
way to like bring viewership back to them.
I was thinking, look, if you're willing to adapt with technology and like your appearance and just all this stuff, you also got to do it with your writing. You also got to do it with just the wrestlers in general. And then when they finally started doing stuff like that, I was like, yes,
Hmm.
yes. I was like, yeah, this is great. Like, it's more. I don't want to say it's more realistic because that's obvious, but it's more interesting. There you go. The comebacks are more spot on. The beef is bigger and better. You know what I mean? And like, there's more to say,
Hmm.
creative wise. Like, I like the TV 14 thing. That's why when I found out about it, I was like, no way, because I didn't believe it at first. I was like, WWE. I think they're all about PG or PG 13
No,
probably.
no. The thing is, no. The thing with the PG move back in 2008 was like to like make the not only to make the product more kid friendly, but like advertiser friendly. That's why. How do you
Of
think that
course.
like for 14 years they've been able to get away, like establish new relationships with with brands, with
Mhm.
like different brands that otherwise wouldn't be associated with WWE at the time.
Right.
And now that they've they got those partnerships. Maybe it's in their best interest to like maybe push the envelope just a little bit.
Mm.
Without losing advertiser money, obviously.
It could be. It could be. Well, I mean, regardless, at the end of the day, WWE is just engaging in general. I mean, they were engaging with the PG rating, which is fine. But this new TV 14, I would welcome it to stay because I still think it'd be good. Like, it's friendly in general. It's not bad. It's entertainment.
And
You know,
yeah, exactly. And when you have Triple H at the helm, like he's gonna be looking for ways to push the envelope with the product in
absolutely,
general.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. But okay, man, yeah. Like we talked about SummerSlam. Like, was there anything that you wish you've seen in SummerSlam, or just
You know what? I was hoping for a Seth Rollins, impromptu
uh,
match,
hmm,
but because of the match, that match was you know, was pushed back because he was supposed to be facing Riddle, right? That got pushed off because of a kayfabe injury. I was hoping that like Seth Rollins would come out, he'd address the crowd and be like open challenge, I guess, and then AJ Styles will come out, I guess.
right, right.
At least give the people what they want, which is a match.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
But you know what? I'm not mad that that didn't take place, because then that would mean other matches would have to be cut for time and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like if we're gonna see a Riddle versus Seth Rollins match next month in actually no in September in Wales, then yeah, you know what? I'm fine waiting.
Are you excited for the next pay-per-view event? Because
I mean, okay,
yeah,
all right, first off, it's like the first ever pay per view since like 1992 SummerSlam. Number two, like I've got friends that live in the UK that will want to go there live.
I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, man.
And hell, did you hear about WrestleMania? It's taking place next year
Yeah, in
in
Los
LA.
Angeles. Yeah, I was like, oh, I want to go to that shit. I was like, oh, and I love the logo brand that they have for it. They had that film in the background with
Yeah,
the.
yeah. WrestleMania Hollywood. Yeah,
Are you gonna? Oh, are you gonna? Would you?
I want to. I
Do those
want to
tickets?
go.
I don't think tickets are on sale yet. I heard.
Tickets are gonna come out like around November.
Oh, November. I thought it was after August 12th. I heard something about after August 12th.
Oh yeah, is it? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah. So I would love to go,
It's exciting, right?
and it's another West Coast show, so it's like it'll be like perfect for our time. It's not
Yeah.
like it's not, but and the good thing is like it's gonna take place in a covered arena, right? It's not
Mhm.
like when they had WrestleMania back in 2015 at Levi's, where like the sun was still out.
I'm thinking about the one that happened. I think it was a year ago, the with the pirate one, because my cousin went to that one.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
watching everything, and it was just raining. People had to keep going inside because the rain was just kind of like overshadowing
yeah.
the.
There was a rain delay
Yeah,
too.
hell
I was
bad. It
like,
was really
damn.
bad. I'll give you a link to my cousin's channel, so you can see the vlog.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Gamer Athletics, to my little cousin. Keep doing what you're doing, cuz. And because he does all that stuff, right? He's into wrestling, he's into baseball. He has his own brand going on.
Right,
It's
right.
what I hear is being very successful. So good for him. But yeah, check it out. He went there and he was vlogging the 2 days that he went, and especially my uncle because he's all about wrestling. He loves wrestling with a passion. So like when I was there, I was like, oh, I thought they were gonna cancel the event just because the
Right.
rain was so bad. Hopefully nothing like that happens in Los Angeles.
Hey, so I'm hearing that there will be a Monday Night Raw on sometime around September in San Jose. I was
Oh
so,
yeah,
I was thinking like, you want to go?
I would. Hell yeah,
Like I would too. Not gonna lie.
I would
Or
love to.
I'm thinking either Sunday because there's like a premium event
Right, I heard about
In
those. Huh?
Oakland on Sunday, and then Monday
Awesome.
Night Raw on Monday in San Jose. I'm just like thinking, do you want to go?
Dude,
Like
I'm down.
I'd love to go.
I would for which one, the premium or the or Raw?
Either or.
Which one would you be more down for?
Fucking Monday Night Raw.
Thank you. I'd love to say like I mean premium is cool. I've been to one before. I remember that. It was like I remember where we were at. Only half of the stadium was filled.
Uh huh.
But I'm thinking I want to go to Raw. Like it's Raw, dude. Like I haven't been to
Like who
wrestling in a
wouldn't
while.
want to go there?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's entertaining, dude. Go in there, make a vlog out of it. I'll be vlogging that shit. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm down, man.
For like, cause like I'm trying to get out more, right? So I'm like thinking like, what's like one good event that I'd like to go to, and then like suddenly like recently I've taken up, watching football, right? Like European football and all that kind of stuff. So like soccer basically. So I'm like like is going to a Quakes game really good?
Right, right. I
And
mean,
then
it depends if
or like going to a Giants game, for example. Hold on, maybe tickets. They don't have it. They don't have it on Ticketmaster.
I'm down to go if you want to go.
I
That's the point.
I no, I'd be down to go. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Let's hang out. Let's do that. I think we pretty much covered the majority of SummerSlam. Definitely getting into the depths of WWE, just the history, not all of it, but just
But
parts that stuck out to us.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Was there anything else before the podcast is to come to an end that you would like to bring up with WWE or AEW or wrestlers or anything like that?
All I gotta say is that we gotta keep doing more of this, honestly.
Let's do it,
But
bro.
like after every major pay per view, and I'll
Oh,
let you know, or like if I've like, and I'll tell you like if I watched it and like we need to talk about it, or like if I haven't, maybe I don't know, I'll like watch the highlights and then we can talk about it. I don't watch the product all that much, like not on a weekly basis, all right? Because that shit is time consuming. You know that, right?
it's 2 hours.
3 hours Monday Night Raw, 2 hours SmackDown, 1 hour NXT 2.0.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Do you watch NXT a lot?
Okay, I don't even watch the products live. I'll just watch like like bits on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But I don't even watch NXT these days because like
It's okay.
it's it's like it's become PG'd. It's not like
Ah,
when Triple H was running NXT that he would bring in independent stars from other companies, bring them to work for WWE, and then they would showcase their wrestling there, trying to create homegrown talent, which is okay. I'm all for it, but at the
mhm.
same time, we prefer the old one.
I don't know. NXT's for a lot of people, it's kind of a hit and miss.
Yeah, no, this latest iteration is one big miss.
But okay then, Jules. So that everything for now.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rose. I really appreciate you. And if you guys haven't checked out my buddy Julius's YouTube channel at Julius Palma, you can't miss it. He has a bunch of Hamilton content and other stuff too. Blogs. He's doing live streams talking about
Racing.
racing, pretty much. He's into all that type of stuff. If you're into like moto. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to think of the term. Yeah.
Motorsports. So yeah.
Motorsport. I was about to say motocross, but I was like, no, my bad. Motorsports. There you go. That was the term I was looking for. But is there anything you'd like to say before we end the podcast?
No. Thanks for having me, and like hopefully we can do more of this again in the future. Definitely.
Hell yeah, man. But all right, Julius, thank you so much for coming on. Verse, thank you so much for watching. If you watched the whole thing, if you're someone that's into WWE, will there be more podcasts about this? Hell yeah. Will I be trying to do other podcasts about different things? Hell yeah. It's more content, it's more fun, it's more discussions. Let's do it. And besides that, though, Verse, if you guys like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification for more content as always. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. I really appreciate it. This was fun. Julius, thank you again. It was great to talk to you and talk about wrestling, man. That's awesome. And yeah, Verse, with that said, look forward to the next video. Laters.